Welcome back. It is me, the Piper of the Doug. Thank you for clicking on the video. Yes, it's still raining from the last time you saw me, which has only been a few hours in Hollywood time. A couple of things have happened since you last saw me. That's fun. So yeah. So I don't know whether the bales actually helped cushion the blow. It came from up there. And this one came down, so yeah. Yeah, she was windy last night. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I don't think the crush functioning parts are damaged, but she's bent. So yeah, we're not gonna be able to a whole heck of a lot today. I was hoping to get at the fencing. That's not gonna happen. So I think today gonna do the feeding. Well, I can't really get through here very easily, so I'm gonna have to go around the field. And I think we're gonna run over to Verdon, pick up the new gates because they're in, and as like I said in the last video, pick up Mrs. Piper Doug's wall paneling, and oh yeah, like I said in the last video, a new chainsaw. Might have some firewood. Anyway, let's get on. And yeah, we're back out here. Fun and games. Oh my gosh. Well, as I would say, today is the first day of bug season. I had to break out the old mosquito spray. They were literally draining me as quick as I could make the red stuff. Oh, so yeah, the fence is getting moved. And a lot of people will be like, well, why aren't you just rebuilding the fence that was here? Well, there's the old fence. But the problem is that if somebody contests this fence again and I rebuilt this one, they'll make me move it to there. So I'm going to put the fence back here where the legal land description is for the fence, because I don't want to do this a third time. So yeah, I'm taking the power wire down all the way along, that way I can leapfrog the barbs over here. So then we'll run a strainer top wire to get our straight lines. We'll knock in all the posts, and then we'll flip all the barbs over and pull them all. And then once all the barbs are up, all 4 strands, then one of these wires will go on top of the fence on the 4 strand. That way I always have a hot wire somewhere around the farm. That way I can pull it off for doing strip grazing or for paddock grazing or whatever we're doing. So yeah, actually kind of glad the clouds came over, because it was actually quite hot. It was into the 20s, and when that wind dropped, she was getting a bit toasty because I'm in the bog here. This is all wet. So yeah, the bugs were loving me. So yeah, every so often I've got to remember to not trip over these, because the old posts were all just broke off. So yeah, man, these ones are a pain in the bum. All the rest of them come off easy, but these ones I have to dig these off, because some of these posts we can reuse, some of them are junk. Anyway, I know you all want to hang out with me here doing this job. Yeah, I'll bring you back. Well, Mrs. Piper Doug was successful in the getting of the purchased parts. It went well except for one thing. So I'm gonna see if I can show you guys. Back in there is what a fan, the heater matrix. So it's one of those where it has a motor in the middle and it has 2 squirrel cages on it. And they sent this. So yeah, that's not the right part. Honest to gosh. Anyway, so we're gonna start putting things back together. So I was just putting these, I don't know what you call those, relays things. So the important parts did come in. So here we are. These are the offending ones. These are the inside O-rings. Generic O-rings, but they're the proper ones for the part. And then this is the big kahuna. So there you go. That is why they had to be replaced. Still not entirely sure how that's over $100. Now I get it's chromoly hardened machine spec steel, but that's still a lot of money. But according to what I can figure out, these have done over 5,000 hours, so I suppose with the abuse this thing gets, because you can see here on the underside of these caps for the joystick, because these are what press down on the plungers. So to do that, it's been working. So yeah. So there we go. So now it's a case of rebuilding the joysticks, setting them back up, and then the lovely job of splicing all these wires back together. So I don't know if I might just leave those wires for now, get the joysticks installed, hook up enough of the electronics, which is basically the dashboard, the ignition, because there's nothing else up here I don't think we need. Kill. I'm not putting any of this bodywork back on. So yeah, just the ignition, the dashboard. And then that'll get us up and running. That way I can wash everything down. Man, it's going to be nice to get this thing back moving again, get it washed, and then get it put back together for good. I was talking to a guy on, because I do follow a lot of those scrub clearing videos, and I was talking to a guy who runs one of the newer versions of these Takoshis. He had the I don't think it was a TL, it's the newer version, so I don't know if it's a T or an L. And it was, I don't know, 160, 180, something like that. And I was saying about how easy it is to set, how easy it is to set one of these up to run like a scrubber or a mulcher. And he said it all depends on your flow. So I don't know how to figure that out, if this thing has the flow. It does have the hydraulics up there, but that's just for running a grab. So I don't know if that's enough flow, but I don't know if you can retrofit these ones to do it. Because I imagine it's all to do with plumbing. But anyway, not a problem right now. We don't need to figure out. Anyway, I'm gonna get to putting these back together. Okay, so that is new O-rings install Ed. Now, there's a guy, he's from like the New York, New Jersey, sorry if that insults anybody. He's from that sort of area of the US. He's kind of buds with Andrew Camarada. If you haven't watched his channel, it's a really good channel. He's in upstate New York. He runs one of these. He has a scrubber, not a mulcher. So that's like the big lawnmower with the blades. So it's for taking down scrub, and it's not for doing fine mulching, but it takes down small trees and bush and stuff like that, and just makes it, cleans it up, all that good stuff. He's got a whole bunch of other toys and stuff. It's his business is like small earth moving construction. It's some diggers and some loaders and all that kind of good stuff. And anyway, to the other guy I was talking about. So his video, he's doing this. And his was probably the one video that taught me the most about how to get all this stuff apart. Now, he did do the grown-up thing, where instead of cutting the wires like a Piper Doug would do, he's the one, like I said, where he undid the pins out of the plug-in. I still think my way's quicker, but I think he's an electrician, so he would have all the gear for doing that. And he was the one that said, replace these. Said you could get by with just putting new O-rings in it, but it wouldn't last as long. But his handy tip is what probably made me be able to do this in half the time. So what he said was, he says, take one of the pins, new or old, install it into here, and then that way when you're putting the O-rings in there, you're not fighting with them always trying to ping and go down inside the shaft. You're pushing them against the top of the pin, so they'll go into the groove and they'll bed in properly. So yeah, handy tip. Anybody that's ever doing this, that's what you do. So I'm going to give these things a quick wash off because they might have some dust and dirt on them. This is, yeah, I set them up on the right side. So these go in first. So we'll take all of these dingle hoppers out and shove them in there. And then, so these go in first, and these go, these go inside these all the way in. And then they go on top of these. So it's like that. So, and then the locking cap goes on top, and then this goes on top, and then the joystick goes on that, and there. Anyway, it takes longer to explain it than it does to do it. So, like I said, this holds the washer down on top of the plungers. So the other big thing is to dampen the O-rings. So I have this diesel sitting here. So yeah, just basically dip the pistons in the diesel, insert them into the inside O-rings, and then before you set these guys in, you just give the outside O-ring just a quick wee rub with the diesel, and then pardon my sniffing, and then yeah, you just depress these. There's a, before you set them down, there's a point like there you go. So as you push them down in, once those start to drop into here, basically the O-ring will hold it down in there till you get all four in, and then when you put the plate on, which is this one, see, that one goes this way. I don't know why the hole's at the corner on this one versus there, but then again, this isn't a diamond pattern versus the square pattern like that side, because that's the way the hydraulics work, I suppose. Though it does look like somebody had been in here before, because this bolt, it's supposed to be threaded here. It's stripped out. Like there was no bolt here. And so when I went to go and put a new bolt in there, there was nothing there to grab onto. It was already stripped out. And plus the little grommet, like there, is missing on this one. So, and I don't have one that size, so I'll just have to put a piece of that pipe down through here that the wires will go through so the wires don't chafe on it. But so yeah, one step closer. So this part you can adjust. So it's kind of like setting valves on an engine. There's supposed to be a bit of play, because you don't want this tight down on your plungers, your pistons, because then you'll start to actually get powering. So like you see here, it's loose. So you just turn it down. See. There. Now, technically, that little universal, you can change that out. There was a little bit of wear on it, but I'm not too worried about that. It's not coming apart anytime soon. It's not like a PTO shaft. So when we go to screw on the joysticks, the joystick will go down and then it'll have like a 360 where it has to finish pointing a certain way. So then you wind this out, turn the joystick, and then you wind it back to it, and then that'll give you your zero out. It's supposed to have like a slot, like I said, where it's not supposed to be in constant pressure. So like I said, once we go to put the joysticks on, we can set that back up, because like I said, we'll put the joysticks on, put the dashboard back in, which here's the frame for it here. That way I can hook up the main power, a couple of small odds and bods, and then we should be able to fire this up and take it over to get washed. Yay! So this goes to show you, for all those that don't do ranching, that think raising cattle is easy and we're just meanies. Yes, this is the cow and calf pair that went out to the pasture yesterday, because I saw the calf drinking from mum. Everybody was fine. They stood at the gate last night. The two of them hollered at the gate. All morning they stood at the gate and hollered. Mum was hollering at the baby, hollering at the gate. Baby was hollering at the gate. Brought them in. She was trying to attack me the whole way across here, so she got the shovel of power, because that is an all steel shovel, and I'd far rather she learns what that is than I learn what drinking soup through a straw in your neck is. So I gave the baby a bottle of colostrum to get it topped up. It drained it, literally drained the bottle. Brought it in here. It's a big boy, so he could stand with a lot. And yeah, her teats had not been accessed for a good at least 12 hours. So I drew her out. The back ones hadn't been opened yet. I pulled the plugs from the back ones. He'd only been in the front one. So I don't know whether because the cows all get fighting, the cab and her get separated, and then the cab just panicked. So yeah, they get to stay in here for another couple of days and just make sure they're paired back up before we let them back out. So like I said, you gotta keep an eye on them all. We've got another cab down with the really bad coxy. It's got that really bad smell, which means its insides are coming out. So it's on the full course of charcoal injection Borgal, and it got the reset pills as well. So I tried it with electrolytes, but it's not sunken in yet, but if I need to I'll bag it. But yeah, she's out of sorts. That's why I knew. This is Sigur's mum. That's why I knew something was up, because she was trying to have a go at me, and that's not really her thing. But she will find herself on a truck if she keeps doing that. But no, he's doing good, so. Never a dull moment at Wreck-It Ranch. Oh yeah, I gotta cut that tree yet. Anyway. Sometimes you wonder why you do it. The stress that goes with this job, and then you look out there and you go, that's why. That's Joker. We lost her calf last year due to a really acute bad case of cocci. There she is with a new baby. She never leaves that baby alone. Meanwhile, oh, it's on his feet. That calf was at death's door this morning, so we're going to get into the yard out of the sun. Because, like Ed Gosling says, if you're treating calves, you've got to get them out of the sun, because you're going to be fighting an uphill battle that whole way. So yeah, we're still feeding cows because we feed them in this sacrificial pasture till the paddocks are ready for rotational grazing. So I'll bring you back in a minute when I'm done dropping bales. So yeah, the not so great side of ranching. This little geezer here. So yeah, it's on a course of Borgal. I just actually gave it some pain medication because it seems like its insides are like really raw, really sore. That will take the willing to live out of a calf quicker than anything. So I bagged it twice today with electrolytes and fairly rich, because it was close to 30 degrees today, and where it was going and laying down was in the sun, so I've got up here in the shade, so there's a breeze here keeping it cool. So it's had 2 big doses of charcoal, which hopefully will coat any of the open lesions in its stomach, and I'm hoping once this stuff kicks in it'll help it sort of relax, because it's very laboring. Weird thing was it's got runny poop but not bloody stool, so I'm hoping we've stopped the bleeding at least. Hey Casper. So yeah, that's one of the first time 3-year-olds calf. So don't know why. Mom was nearby, but she's not fussing over it, so I don't know whether she was feeding too many other calves and she just forgot which one was hers, and then it got left to fend for itself and started drinking crappy water and water trough and got dehydrated. So like I said, the problem is you can't. I think that's her mum right there, standing looking around, because that's where her baby was just right over there. Boo! Yeah, that's Boo. Come on, sweetie. So yeah, if it's alive tomorrow, I will be shocked. Oh, another rain shower. There's Ellie. So yeah, I'm going to a movie tonight. Weird. I tell you, that's not bad for, we're just about at the middle of May. And this is light land down here. This is the southwest corner of our section. So yeah, it's predominantly more grass down on this hay stand than our other stand. So this is the premium quarter that we have. Nice. Yeah, we're back in the squeaky tractor. Oh, we're in the hayfield. What are we doing? Well, see, she's coming up really good. Alfalfa's really starting to take off, probably about 6 inches. If I'm a judge of 6 inches, that looks like 6 inches in some places. So yeah, what do? You go and disc it. Yeah, I'm not disking the field under this. This is still part of the 5-year agreement with the conservation district, so still 2 more seasons after this. Yeah, 2 more seasons after this before we will think about plowing it under and putting a new stand in. It's not needing it anytime soon. The crappy part is the grass never did come back. Like this was like almost 50-50 blend. I think it was 60-40 actually, to be honest. And very few spots is there any grass at all. So yeah, so that'll definitely get remedied on the next time around. But so what are we doing? Those of you who have been with me since last year, and I appreciate each and every one of you, will know that we are preparing to put in more shelter belts. And I know a lot of people don't agree with shelter belts, and that's your own prerogative. The irony being is, these poplars here along the edge of the field, I will be cutting down and bulldozing all of them. So I am not beyond getting rid of trees. I want trees where I want trees. I don't want trees where I don't want them. And where I don't want them is coming down on top of my fences all the time. These common poplars are very bad for, they don't last long, and they get sick and wood rot and come down a lot. So we're going to take the whole lot out. One of the reasons I bought that big new chainsaw, if I haven't showed it to you already, I will in the next clip. So yeah, the whole point was to cut these down, and then we'll clean up all the stumps at a later date, and then we'll get the new fence put down. There's a fence there right now, but it's garbage, and that's why the calves were getting out last year. So we'll get the new fence in, and then the plan is that what we're putting in here will also go in over there. So there's a row here, a row in the middle, and a row at the other side, breaking this square into 4 equal compartments. Yeah, look at that, sloughs, there's no water in them, and we've had 6 inches of rain, so it tells you how dry we were. Anyway, so these shelter belts are going to be a single row, not a double row. I know it looks bad, but this is the smallest piece of tillage equipment I have available right now. Oh, there is a bit of water right there. Squirrel! It's 15 feet wide, but that way, when they put the tree row in, I'm going to come along with the build processor and blow a couple of bands of straw down either side to protect, oh look, can't talk today, to protect the seedlings and preserve the moisture and hold the weeds back. And then, as you can see, the alfalfa will come back in. Like, I'm not completely and utterly decimating the alfalfa. I did 2 passes at the end of last year, and you can see it's still coming back. But, so what is the tree rows? So, just like tree fields, which is our half section that we rent out, it's going to be Scots pine and cottonwood. I know a lot of people don't like cottonwoods, but there's a reason. Cottonwoods have a good 60 to 70 year life expectancy. They are quick growing, and these are hybrid cottonwoods. And what that also means is they are very vertical. They're not big on branches low down, as long as you make sure you prune any shoots at the start of their growth. So yeah, every second tree will be cottonwood, and then Scots pine, unlike spruce, like Christmas trees, Scots pine is also a very vertical tree. You'll get a trunk, and then you'll get branching out. The trees on our driveway are Scots pine for that very reason. So 2 types of trees. One will give you winter protection, the other one will give you the summer protection as well. They will be very vertical, and they will get up and out of the way of all your equipment. And then once they're vertical, they will stop shading out your crop on either side, but they will create tremendous wind protection. As you all know, we have trouble with hay blowing away. So that's where we're at. So I've got to get this done, because apparently they told me my 2,000 whatever trees have shown up. So I actually hadn't planned on getting this done right away, but needs be. Let's get on. Okay, I'm on the 3rd row, the last one. I stopped because I kind of figured the air filter hadn't been cleaned out for a while. Seemed a little underpowered, so it was quite dirty. So yeah, shockingly the radiator was quite clean. So anyway, so I didn't realize I'd left one of the mineral tubs out here, and for those who don't know, I used those as visual markers when I was doing the disking, because you can see that wooden stake there with the paint on it. That's what the conservation district had put out here for markers for me to do the disking. Yeah, it's not real straight, and I swear to gosh, that's not my doing. That was me following their stakes. But anyway, I used these tubs as long distance line of sight. But if you will notice something, I haven't moved it yet, because I looked at it and I thought, I am going to show that to everybody as I see it. So, just make sure there's nothing in there. Look at that. Look at that. It's over a foot tall inside this yellow tub. Now, there are some dandelions in there, but that's alfalfa. So, this acted like a greenhouse. I don't know whether the cracks helped or whether because you can kind of see light through this, so maybe it was acting like a greenhouse. That's crazy. I thought when I saw this there would be a little dead patch of ground there, but look at that. That was probably gonna die now, but you know, getting blown in the wind, chickpea. Okay, I'm gonna get this done. I might head up and see our little bit up at the Bennett's, go and get that tilled up, because it'll be to do, because it is getting its final sowing this year. It got oats last year. It's going to get oats and grass alfalfa sown into it. So then it will be a hay stand after that. So yeah, let's get on. Well, there you go. She's running. Still got to purge a fair bit of air out of it. I was just checking because I had that little float guy about an inch above the red line, so I figured there would be a bunch would chase through, because I drained back a lot of the oil because I had to get the oil back from these, so it wasn't just blagging out. So I dropped the tank. So I'm not going to do too much more to it till I clean it. Basically, I'm just going to zip tie all of these things up to the pedestals. And I don't think I have any other wires to put back on till it's washed. Most of this stuff you can just kind of sit here. I'm just going to have at this, like I'm going to cover it in detergent and wash it, and then I'll probably get the airline to it and blow it completely out. I was actually thinking of taking the floor back out because there's actually quite a lot of crap under there. But yeah, I've got to drop the belly pan plates back off of it. I was thinking that because I would do a whole lot of washing. I don't want this sediment to sit down in the plates. So yeah. So yeah, this week, what's been going on? Well, we have our 84th birth, and we lost that calf, so we're at -2 now. Yeah, we've still got about 30 animals to calve. Another first timer 2-year-old had calved, so yeah, that was kind of nice. Got those paired up. That crazy woman, the one that you saw had the calf, the mum in the headlock, she's still mental, so she's in the cull pen. She's going to go down the road at the end of the year. We're not going to run onto the bull because I'm not selling somebody an in-calf cow that I would not have in my herd, so no. she will go as a fats at the end of the year. So yeah, hopefully by the next video, this will be out and getting washed with this machine. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I gotta call my dentist tomorrow because I've been feeling a little bit under the weather. You might be able to tell by my demeanor. I think I have an infection in my face. You don't want to see it. It's not pretty, my face anyway. No, I got some pain in my cheekbone. And Mrs. Piper Doug was looking at it and she's like, yeah, there's something's going on in there, so they might have to put me on another round of antibiotics. Hopefully they won't have to carve me open again, but anyway, we'll deal with what we do. I got back to the fencing again today, so and you saw the tillage. So yeah, stuff's starting to happen. It's kind of nice to get back out in the tractor again. It's a nice change. 3 months calving, it starts to weigh on a person. You'll all know that feeling. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for clicking on the video. And like I said, hope you all have a good week. And we've got a wee chance of rain here right away, but I'm hoping to be out in that tomorrow. Go and do some post pounding, get a bunch of fences in. And so yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Taddy bye, everybody. And I nearly forgot. This is the chainsaw that I bought. So yeah, it's a 50cc, it's fuel injected, so it's a big kahuna. It's the biggest saw I've ever bought. And I went with steel, however you pronounce it, this time because, like I said, I'm not overly fond of Husqvarna anymore, or Husky, or what do you call them? But yeah, it's got 2 years warranty. It's supposed to be very easy to start, which is good for people like me with bad backs. So yeah, almost forgot. So I'm away this time.